Hello and welcome back to Farmstead MTG. So after 6 rounds of Swiss, we have finally reached the top 8 of the Plague tournament. So let's do a top 8 announcement and show all the decks, and after that you will see the first top 8 match. Okay? So at the top you have Olan with his triple S deck. So if you want to look longer, you can just pause the video. And in a second you have Kalenor with his Kalle Kurvan. That's at least is the Swedish name. It's a 5-color good stuff mid-range deck. At third you have Simon. He's bringing the deck with his Cthulhu team. At fourth you have David, and I know David has played a lot of X-Point, and I think this deck is pretty similar to the list he's playing in X-Point, and he have won a bunch of those leagues with the land tax, and he have a bunch of dark hearts of the wood. He's playing with 2 Winter Orb in this deck, and the Scavenger Folk and the Mace aren't there, so this picture isn't all updated, but this is really cool, because as you see most of the decks in the top 8, you see the usual suspects, but this list here is pretty unique, so that's cool to see. And here, Magnus de Laval. I think he was going for the flavor deck, but he did really well, and here he is on in top 8. So that's really cool to see. The founder of Old School still got it. Beautiful deck. At 6th you have Thomas Nilsson. He's playing a Lion Dib, Sarah Angel, all the good cards. Beautiful. 7th you have Trygve. This is Rug deck. Black Wires, Burn, all the good creatures. Really solid list. And at 8th place you have Ole Rustad, and he's playing a robot deck, but he's playing with Disharmony and Diamond Valley, so that's pretty spicy. So that was the top 8 decks. So let me put up some pairings for top 8. You can see Mikael Johansson, aka Olan, versus Ole Rustad. But Olan has been playing a bunch on the feature, so we didn't want to show him. On the first feature match you have Magnus de Laval versus David. I'll show that match shortly. And yeah, on the second feature it is Simon versus Thomas. And Trygve and Kalenor is not playing on feature. So let's take a look at the feature decks of today. So let's take another look at the decks that are playing today. This is Magnus de Laval playing a black artifact control deck, and yep, this deck is beautiful. It has Underworld Dreams, and that synergizes very well with Howling Mine, and Howling Mine is great with Relic Barrier and Icy Manipulators. So I think that's called the Parfait package. Also he has a City in a Bottle that can win games out of nowhere, and Dark Ritual, Drain Life, the Black Power, also a Candelabra. Yeah, so it's a lot of cool cards. So that is the deck. Let's take a look at his opponent. And here's the second deck, player name is David, and he is playing a white and green deck with Savannah. Savannah is like considered one of the worst dual lands, but David is making the Savannah proud here and going all the way to top 8. So there are some mana dorks there, and there are land decks and Armageddon. Those are great together. He has some big creatures, Urnam, Suchi, Serra Angel. Also there are Dark Heart of the Woods. You can sacrifice a forest to gain 3 life, and that is great if you're playing against an aggressive burn deck or something like that. So yeah, that's the deck. Now let's get down to the match. Game number 1. Magnus left, David right. Looks like Magnus is mulligan to 6. David's on the play. Starts out with the Birds of Paradise. Ooh, and a Dark Ritual into Underworld Dreams. So now David takes 1 damage for each card he draws. So the clock is on. Just 19 more turns. Ooh, turn 2 Urnam. That is huge. And Magnus sit in a bottle. I was going to say Magnus doesn't have a main deck removal for creatures, but yeah, sitting in a bottle, and Urnam is from Arabian Nights. Wow, there you see the power of having those sitting in a bottle in your main deck. Oh, and there's a Black Lotus into an Icy Manipulator. Okay. Not that many targets for it now, but okay. And there's a Disenchant. So he's going for the Icy and not the Underworld Dream. The Underworld Dream is a pretty slow clock, so I think it's smart not to take it here. And here's a Howling Mine, and that will make it a bit worse with the Underworld Dreams. So now he takes 2 damage because you have to draw 2 cards each turn. It's a Mox Pearl, tapping 3 mana. Mind Twist for 2. That's another Underworld Dream and a Sinkhole. Okay, that's good. And there's a Demonic Tutor. Okay. Let's cut a bit forward. There's the card. So I wonder. He doesn't have a blue power, so I'm not sure what he's taking here. Perhaps a Disenchant on the Howling Mine. Okay. I was thinking about a Serra Angel here or something. That could be great. Because you need a pretty fast clock to win against the Underworld Dreams. Ooh, another Underworld Dreams. Okay. And David doesn't draw anything. Just a bunch of mana. He really needs to top deck some creatures here. Okay, so the Relic Barrier is tapping down the White Mox. There's a Soul Ring. And then again, just pass the turn. Oh, it's so frustrated to just float out when you're on the top 8. So the Relic Barriers is tapping down 2 Moxes. And once again, draw go. Where are all the big creatures? Down to 5. Now we need multiple Disenchants to deal with those Underworld Dreams. And that's a Chaos Orb from Magnus. Okay, down to 3. tapping something. There's an icy manipulator, but that won't help. I guess Magnus just gotta pass the turn. Okay, so David tapping down the Chaos Orb. Magnus could respond while using it, but yeah. And there's the scoop. Game number 2. David is mulligan to 6. He's on the play a forest. A swamp for Magnus. Second swamp into a Chaos Orb. Lotus. Oh, wow. Double sinkhole. Boom. Very cool. And a factory. Looks like they're discussing something. Bio into a Sylvan library. And there's Hypnotic Spectre. Okay, so he do have a Chaos Orb for that. So he's looking at the top 3 with his Sylvan. Alright. So it takes 8 damage and I go down to 12. And a flip. It's a hit. Okay. So it took 2 extra cards with his Sylvan. That is aggressive. Okay, tapping 4 mana. Okay, that is Google's. I don't remember the name, but you can activate it and destroy antiquities creatures. No, antiquities cards, I think. Oh no! Okay. So that happened. Okay, Magnus tapping. Double Dark Ritual. And that's 6. Yeah, for 6. So David is down to 2. And he scoops. GG. So that was a fast one. Magnus won 2-0. And yeah, that was a bit anticlimactic. David's deck really didn't work at all. But yeah, that's how it goes. But it sucks when you're on the feature and in the top 8 and your deck doesn't work. But that's how it goes. Okay, next week I will show Simon versus Thomas, the other top 8 feature. So until then, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that shit. So thank you for this time and goodbye.